All right, welcome again, everybody, to our Saturday morning breakfast call for Saturday, January 5th, 2019, our first call of 2019. So hopefully you're as excited as I am about this year, the future, continuing to grow and continuing to build a successful business from home. So let's get talking today just a little bit about Postcard Networker's history. We are now pretty much 3 years old. And we'll talk a little bit about Postcard Networker's future as well. But I kind of like to take a little step back sometimes, especially for the newer people and for some of the people that haven't been with us for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, even 6 months, just to kind of give you some perspective on, how Postcard Networker works, why it was created the way it was created, and what it really does for you and your business and your team, and kind of the purpose of Postcard Networker. So back in about October, November, December 2015, I began testing some different postcards and some letters at the same time, just to see what would work and see what would kind of generate some results, some leads, some buyers, some people that are interested in working with us. And at the time, obviously we weren't with, there's been a lot of evolutions, I guess, over the last 3 years of the Postcard Networker system, but much of it still remains the same. And the stuff that remains the same really is the most important stuff. So we ended up testing for a few months, from about like October, November 2015, December, January. By February 2016, we were fully launched with Postcard Networker, our systems, and starting to really grow a big, large, successful business. And here's kind of the premise of the whole thing. This is what you need to understand, is that Postcard Networker as a business model or as a system was specifically built to consistently generate leads and sales. There really isn't another purpose for it, right? Like, this is the main number one purpose. Now, it has a lot of features and it has a lot of things that we do with Postcard Networker. Like, there's a lot of extras and a lot of things that you can do in terms of, managing your leads and tracking them, and, follow-ups and autoresponders and all kinds of stuff. But the basic premises just comes back to lead generation and sifting and sorting those leads into some sales. Okay, so if we kind of look back at network marketing first, or if we look back at our postcard marketing or MLM or whatever you kind of want to term this industry or term this, what we're doing, home-based business, we need to understand that for us to be successful, for you and I to be successful in this industry, we need to generate sales, right? Like, for you to get paid, there has to be sales going on. Okay, there's nothing that exists in our industry, in our home-based business industry, that's like click a button, make money, or just join, make money, get a spot above the next guy, make money. Like, none of that really exists, right? Somebody's generating the sales. And it can be you generating the sales, it can be your upline generating the sales, it can be your downline generating the sales, but somebody's got to generate a sale, okay? So positioning and timing is often important, right? Because then you can potentially get in front of a big wave of sales, okay? But just being in the right spot without anybody on your team, your downline, your upline, generating a bunch of sales is still not going to do you any good. If you guys are just kind of sitting there, great timing, great company, great comp plan, great products, no sales, you're still going to end up with the same result, right? Like, you're still going to end up not making any money, hanging around, looking at each other, wondering what's going on. Okay, so, and there's lots of different ways. Like, understand that as we build our business, you're not tied into any specific way to build a business. This still comes down to being you as an entrepreneur, you as a business owner, right? You're an independent business owner in a network marketing company. You can print business cards and hand them out at the local mall if you want. Now, you're going to get a lot of rejection doing that. It's going to feel awkward and weird, all right? But you can do it, right? And some people do it, and some people do it successfully. Still to this day, still in 2019, people are, handing out business cards or handing out flyers or, posting up flyers, at their local grocery store to try to. But again, they're doing that not to necessarily immediately sell people. They're doing that to generate leads. Okay, I understand that if you're going to go hang out at the local grocery store or the mall, or if you're going to go put up flyers or do anything locally, okay, and there's a million different things you can do. I've got a whole course that I got years ago. I've actually got 2 of them, I think. I could go dig them up, but on local lead generation. And they've got 20 or 30 or 50 different things you can do to generate leads in your local community. But it still comes down to lead generation, right? You're still generating leads, okay? You can cold call people. The cold call processing, you just get a list of potential prospects' phone numbers. Normally you buy them from a lead company. Here's a list of 100, 200, 300, 400 people with their phone number that might be interested in a home-based business, right? They've put up their hand at some point. Maybe they've joined a company at some point, and you just call them all, right? Pick up the phone, dial them. That, again, is lead generation, right? You're not doing any sales at that point. You're just trying to generate a lead out of 100 cold people that may or may not be interested currently in working with you or in building a business. Or you send direct mail, right? Postcards, letters, right? Reaching out to people through the mail. You can send email, right? To opt in, people who opt in on your website. You can go on Facebook, try to generate leads. You can go on Google AdWords, try to generate leads. You can blog, try to generate leads. You can go on YouTube. You can go on Instagram, right? So there's kind of a plethora. There's a huge amount of different places you can generate leads, but it still comes down to, can you generate leads through that source on a consistent, regular basis? That truly is the only question that you need to ask, right? Can you generate leads? And can your team generate leads from that source on a regular basis? So if you figure out YouTube and you can generate 3 leads a day, go to it and teach it to your team. If you can use Instagram and build a huge following of people and then have people constantly contacting you to join your business, go to it, okay? Most people can't use a lot of the technology, not because it's impossible, not because it's too hard, it's just because they don't want to take the time to learn it. Most people don't want to take the time to learn it. They get frustrated, right? It's new. Most people don't want to call people on the telephone because of the rejection, right? Because every second person is yelling and screaming at you or hanging up on you. Most people don't like that, right? I can only do cold calling for a certain amount of time, and then I get burned out, right? We used to do cold calling constantly for our business, and I would find that I would get burned out after a certain period of time. I would need a rest. I'd need a break. If you cold call for your whole business, you could probably do it for a few months, and then you would literally need a break for a month of just no cold calling. Or you could do it for a full year, but then you might need 3 years of break, right? I mean, I'm telling you, I've done this, right? So cold calling is okay. It absolutely works to generate leads and generate sales, but you kind of get burned out fast. And it's not super duplicatable because most people don't want to get all that rejection personally. They don't want to hear it. When you hear so much rejection, you tend to get down on yourself and you tend to get down on your business. going locally, and handing out flyers and trying to prospect locally and talk to people or hand out business cards cold at the mall or doing something like that, again, it's a lot of rejection. A lot of people just look the other way. A lot of people looking down on you, thinking, who's this person trying to sell me something? And you're probably the only one that that would be willing to do that. So again, you don't have a lot of consistency when you can't teach a team to do the same thing. So that's why we land back on direct mail, right? There's 101 different things we can do to generate leads, but there's not 101 different things that most people are willing to do to generate leads. And that's really differentiation, right? Pretty much everybody that I've met, that I've talked to, is willing to put a stamp on a postcard, throw it in the mail, to generate a lead or 2 leads or 10 leads, right? Most people will do that, okay, given that they have the finances to come up with $50 or $100 to generate the leads, to go out there and push out the marketing. Most people are willing to, print out a letter, fold it, stuff it, stamp it, mail it. Most people. Not as many, actually, believe it or not. Because, they got to fold it and stamp it and stuff it, right? A little bit extra work. So we've tested letters too. Letters work really well, but not a lot of people want to do that, right? That activity. But you'll throw in your credit card and let us do the stuffing and stamping for you, right? And folding for you, right? A lot of people will do that. So really it just comes down to what can we do on a regular, consistent basis to generate some leads for our business, people to talk to, people to work with, people that will join, and that can generate some sales, right, in our network marketing company. It really just comes down to that, okay? And that's why we kind of landed on postcards back in January, February 2016, is because we can actually generate probably more leads online. We can actually probably build a business faster, warm market, okay, in terms of sales. But the problem is people don't want to learn the online, and people are scared of their warm market, right? So we find ourselves somewhere in the middle with the mail, right? Not quite as many leads as you could generate online, not quite as good conversion as you can with the warm market, but you can still generate leads and generate sales. No rejection, no thinking about it. Everybody's willing to do it. 100% participation rate. And if you get 100% participation rate when new people are joining and coming in and starting to generate leads, even with a drop in conversion, you can still actually build a team just as big as you could online, just as big as you could through warm market, right? Because 9 out of 10 people that join through your warm market don't want to approach their warm market. Huge number of people don't want to do that. Now, if you can find people that are willing to do that, your business can explode, right? It's just that finding those people is very tough. In fact, if we did a survey right now of all the people on this call, very few of them would probably be willing to go talk to their mom, their brother, their sister, their cousin, their next door neighbor, their friends about their network marketing company right now. Okay? Probably very few of you guys on this call, and you guys are super interested in growing a business. You're on a call on a Saturday morning. You're doing training, you're listening to training. You're engaged in your business. So think about people that aren't even attending this call, but that are in the business, right? They're probably not willing to do that. So then we come back again to postcards, letters, direct mail, right? Generating some stuff online, going after a cold market. Most people on this call probably aren't willing to do cold calling, right? In fact, some of the people on this call don't even want to call the warm leads or the team sales that happen, right? Much less the cold calling. Okay, so when we kind of look at the broad picture, that's why Postcard Networker was created the way it was created, is because it is capable of generating a consistent flow of leads every day that you wake up. And you don't even really have to try very hard. You just have to put a pack of postcards in the mail every month. And your team just throws a pack of postcards in the mail every month, and it just kind of happens automatically without any work, right? Or without any real work. You're kind of buying your leads, essentially. You're buying your warmed up leads, right? The other neat thing about Postcard Networker that I always do, and to be honest, I think maybe this is one of our flaws. I'll tell you why. Postcard Networker is also able to generate sales, okay? Because of the way that we follow up people, the way we pitch people, the way we bring them in online, and the way we do follow-ups through the mail, we can actually generate sales into the network marketing company without you ever talking to somebody, okay? Which is obviously a good thing, right? You'd think that's a fabulous thing, right? That you can generate a sale. You can actually get somebody to commit to an auto ship, get somebody to, pay the fee to join, set up a product order, and commit to an auto ship without ever speaking to them personally, without ever spending any personal time walking that person through any information. So that's a good thing. Or is it really a good thing, right? The reason why we do it that way is because I always want to make sure the people that are going to join can always have the opportunity to join, even if the sponsor doesn't follow up very well. Okay, even if the sponsor doesn't really talk to them or isn't super engaged, the new person still always has a chance to join the business, get engaged, and have success. Okay, so that's why we obviously set up the systems always. All my systems will always have the opportunity for somebody to be able to generate a sale without ever talking to somebody. Now, the flaw in that, of course, is that we're not forcing people to follow up. The money in network marketing, the money in online marketing, postcard marketing, everything is truly in the follow-up. It's in the relationship building, it's in the talking to people, it's in the team building. Okay, that's where the really big money is. So you can generate some sales and some money just by sending postcards, going for a nap, and waking up and finding that, hey, somebody joined. But if you want to have a huge business, you really have to work all the leads that are generated through the system as well. You have to talk to them, you have to build a relationship, you have to help walk them through the process, you have to help them join, you have to encourage them, right? You have to sell to them, okay? Scary concept that we're salespeople here, right? By the way, salespeople, I think outside of CEOs of companies, salespeople, I think on average, and you can look up the stats somewhere, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what I heard one time somebody quote was that salespeople were the highest paid profession outside of like the very top kind of executives in companies. So like the executives, CEOs, maybe VPs or something like that, and then salespeople. And the reason why is because we have unlimited income potential, right, as salespeople. Yeah, unlimited. You literally can make unlimited amount of money just based on your production. And in a network marketing company, it just goes through the roof because you can get paid on your production and the production of your entire team as if you were the company owner yourself, right? As if you were the CEO or you were the business owner. You can get a small percentage off the efforts of hundreds of thousands of people. So as we build this company, as we start to continue to grow, I guess, as we continue to build, as we continue to thrive, I want you to remember the baseline is that the system will generate leads and some sales. But all those leads that are generated, you should really be following up on. Not only your leads, but on your team's leads as well. Okay? And the more follow-up you do within the system to help people get started, the bigger your team will be. All right? So the next thing that Postcard Networker was really designed to do All my systems do this, by the way, that I've ever built over the last, 14, 15 years, is sell how-to information. Okay, sell how to have success before we actually pitch the opportunity. I always teach people or show people how they're going to build a business, what they're going to do, before I say, and this is what we're selling. Always. You'll always notice that. It never changes. Okay? So I either get people to, send in $1, send in $20, $10, $30, $100, which shows them how to build the business. Sometimes, if they send in, for instance, $99 with our opportunity, right? They send $50 to you, $49 to me. We're actually giving them the tools. We're not only showing them how to build the business, we're also giving them the postcards, giving them the information, giving them the books, giving them the training, giving them everything up front so that they can just plug in immediately and start generating sales, start generating leads instantly. Okay? They send in $1, $5, $10, $20, things like that. We just give them the information. Here's how you're going to have success in this business. Here's what you're going to do. Here's how our system works. We always sell the how-to information first, because if you just pitch somebody a business, if you just pitch them a comp plan, if you just pitch them a wonderful product, the question they're always going to ask is, okay, great, that sounds wonderful, I'm excited, the products sound great, I can't believe this incredible compensation plan. It's wonderful that you're working with such successful people, but what do I do? What am I going to do to have success with this? And if you don't answer that question, their brain, right, they'll start trying to figure out what the answer to that question is. They're going to figure it out. And if they don't ask you to answer the how-to question, right, what they're going to do, then they're going to guess. If you don't answer it and you don't provide it, they're just going to guess. Well, great products, but I don't know who I'm going to sell these to. And they start thinking, who could I sell these to? Who could I sell these to? I don't know anybody that I could sell these to. I don't know anybody that I really want to sell these to. The money looks great, but I don't know what to do, right? So if you don't answer that question, they'll try to answer it themselves, and really they'll fail to answer it, because they need a leader. They need somebody to show them what to do, right? How to do it. So as we built Postcard Networker, you'll notice, if you look at all the different iterations, any time that we ever made any changes or improvements or any time we ever did anything over the last 3 years, we always still come back to selling the how-to before the opportunity. That's why when we do a pitch, we say, listen, all you have to do is just send the postcards, okay? Understand that sending the postcards is the lead generation to generate sales to build the business. So if you can put a postcard in the mail, that's how-to. That's the how-to part. We're going to provide the leads. We're going to provide the postcards. We're going to print them. We're going to mail them to you. You put stamps on them. You put them in the mail. That's the how-to. And we're going to provide the system, the autoresponders, the follow-ups. We're going to provide the books and materials and explanations. We're going to provide websites and videos. We're going to provide YouTube training. We're going to provide all this stuff wrapped up in one system to be able to help you. But the bottom line is, if you can put a postcard in the mail, put a stamp on a postcard, throw it in the mail, you can do this opportunity. You can generate the leads, you can generate the sales, you can build a huge team. We always lead with that. We always will. Okay? Because if people understand that, oh, I can do that, like if they already know going in that they can do the activity of the recruiting, of the lead generation that starts the whole ball rolling, if they can do that activity and they believe they can, they know they can, then it makes it easier for them to say yes to your network marketing company. It makes them easier to say yes to join and buy some products and services, to get excited about filling up the compensation plan. If they look at the compensation plan and you need 1,000 people to get rich, and they don't know how they're going to get the 1,000 people, it makes it really difficult for them to join. Excuse me. But if they know how to get the 1,000 people, and then you show them that if they get those 1,000 people, they're going to get rich through the compensation plan, then they get really excited. That's where that their understanding and their buying into what they have to do first makes so much more sense. Don't get them excited about an opportunity, a product, and a comp plan, and then say, but we really don't know what we're going to do. Hopefully you can get some people too. Hopefully you know, tell them what they're going to do up front. Confirm that, yeah, you can do that, right? You can mail a postcard. You can send a letter, right, to people if we give you the leads, the qualified leads of people that are interested already, that put up their hand and said, yes, I want information about a business. You can mail that stuff, right? Right, good. That's how you generate leads and sales. Wonderful. I can do that. Everybody. See, and their brain starts to think like, oh, everybody can do that, right? There's not one person that's not willing to do that, that's not able to do that now. There's nothing holding us back. I remember when I first got started, they told me to make a list of my friends and family, and we're going to go pitch them. By the way, super successful way to build a business. It's just that when I made my list of friends and family, it was a very short list, because I had already created a smaller list of people who I thought might do the business. Like, I pre-qualified out a whole bunch of people, just in my own thought process. Like, I was like, I don't want to pitch that guy. I'm scared of that person. So I made a very short list of people that I knew. But really, I knew probably hundreds. It's just that I wasn't willing to pitch everyone. I pre-screened out people that I thought maybe didn't want to do the business, which is a mistake, right? If you're going to go warm market, you got to just talk to everybody, because you don't know who's ready, whose timing is perfect, who's in a situation that they're going to want to join, right? You don't know until you talk to them. So when I first got started in network marketing, I pitched a couple people, and they said no, and then I was blown out of the water. I was like, done. It's like, they said no. Everybody will say no. But if you send postcards, you don't get that rejection. You can keep going. It's really easy, right, to send more postcards, because you only see the yeses coming back. You only see back the people that say yes, put up their hand, say, yeah, get me some information. Yes, I'm interested. Yes, I want to look at your business. Yes, I want to talk to you. Yes, 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 yes. Easier to build a business that way, right? So selling the how-to information before the opportunity, way easier, way simpler when you get to talking to people. Postcards are easy for the little guy, for the little gal, somebody just starting out, you know, somebody without a huge following, a huge team, a huge group of people, somebody that's never built a network marketing company before. You know, if you have $100, you can build a business, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just about lead generation. It's just about talking to new people about your opportunity on a consistent basis. If you can talk to 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 new people every single month about your business, you're going to have a successful business over time. Because you're going to teach them to do the same thing. Talk to 1 or 2 or 5 people every single month, have a huge successful business. Talk to 1 or 2 or 5 people every single month, have a huge successful business, right? How do you find those people? You send postcards. Oh, easy, I can do that. Right? Everybody can do that. So this business is set up in a way that it's super easy for the little guy, little gal, brand new person. All of my systems that I've ever created, Postcard Networker included, over the history of the last 3 years, has been easy for the new person, for the brand new person that has no skills, no success, no track record, you know, is nervous, is scared, is unsure. Somebody who's just getting started and doesn't have a lot of practice at this, right? And if it's easy for them, it's easy for all of us too that have been in this industry for years and years, right? Somebody that's been in it for a number of months, years, time, right? You've got some success, you've enrolled some people, you've built teams before. This makes it really easy for you. But it's easy for the little guy, little gal, okay? At the end of the day, I mean, I've talked about this already. Everybody can put a stamp on a postcard. There is not a person on this call, there's not a person in the United States right now that can't put a stamp on a postcard, throw it in the mail. Everybody can do that. Okay? It's not a limiting factor. Like, not everybody can do cold calling. It takes a certain skill, takes a certain personality, takes a certain person to say, like, everybody can do it, just everybody's not willing to do it, I think. And you get burnt out, and you're not good at it, and you're nervous, right? I remember when I first started cold calling back, would have been in 2002, probably 2001, something like that. I remember the feeling to this day of picking up the phone and talking to somebody that I didn't know, pitching them a business. I was so terrified, like literally terrified of the rejection, that I was frozen. I would literally freeze. I would like dial numbers, hang up. People would pick up the phone, I would hang up on them. Hello, John here. Right. And I'd just hang up. I wouldn't even talk. It was kind of crazy, now that I think about it. Because for me today, it's very easy to just pick up the phone and talk to anybody, right, that's interested, or any phone number that I have, or anybody that calls me, or anybody that I need to call for the business. It's very easy for me to do that. It's not necessarily saying I want to do that. Still, cold calling and talking to strangers is still, for some people intimidating. But everybody can, nobody's scared of putting a stamp on a postcard. You go buy a roll of stamps, you barely even have to, you could probably do it online, get the stamps mailed to you. You could do it at a kiosk. You don't even have to talk to the postal employee. Or you go up to the postal employee, 100 postcard stamps, please. Give them your debit card and you're done. The transaction's over, right? Like, there's literally no talking to anybody. Get your postcards in the mail. Spend 5 minutes putting stamps on postcards. And I know some people it takes a little bit longer. That's okay. Go check out our video on YouTube. I think it takes me 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, to put 100 stamps on a postcard. Okay, on 100 postcards, rather. And I don't do it that fast every time. Of course, I've shown off a little bit. And by the way, if you can beat that time and put it up on YouTube, maybe we'll send you a gift. Maybe I'll send you some free postcards or something. Of course, no cheating, no technologically video enhanced, editing or whatever to beat that time. But if you can legitimately beat that time, I'd like to see it. Videotape yourself doing 100 stamps on 100 postcards. Okay, I've got a little method online, to do it, and maybe we'll send you some free postcards or something like that if you can beat the times that I have online. Anyway, everybody can do this. Listen, it's so simple. Now, the key about everybody being able to do this is not for you. It's not even for you guys, right? For you individually. It's for your team. Because as you grow your business successfully, you personally, as you grow your business successfully, you will be more willing to do other stuff to build the business as well. Right? As your team starts to grow, as you're more comfortable in the business, as you come on more of these training calls, as you feel like you know the information, you'd be willing to pick up the phone and call people. You might be willing to talk to your friends and family. You might be willing to go prospecting or do other things. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you might be more willing to the longer you're in the business. But for your whole team, this is the key. For everybody that comes in after you, they can still just put a stamp on a postcard and mail it, right? And you can too. You can continue to just stamp postcards, mail them, stamp postcards, mail them, right? But everybody can do this activity. So not only is it easy to work the Postcard Networker system, but the whole point back in, when we launched back in February 2016 and while we were testing was the realization that everybody can truly do this. Like, everybody can truly do this. And when everybody can do it, it creates duplication, leverage. And that's it, folks. I mean, that truly is like, that sentence right there, creates leverage and duplication. Like, that's what network marketing is all about. It's not about anything else. Sure, we sell products and services. Sure, we got to have a cool comp plan. Sure, we got to have great products. But if you can't get leverage through other people's efforts or through other people's money, and if you can't get them to do the same activity or duplication, right? If you can't get somebody to copy you and do what you do, the whole thing falls apart. There is no network, right? Like number 5 is the whole key to the system. Number 1, consistent lead generation sales. You have to have that to be able to generate sales, to be able to generate people in your network. But if you can't get other people to do what you do, which is putting a stamp on a postcard, drop it in the mail, if you can't get other people to do that, you will not have success. The whole thing just stops at you. It'll only be you doing it, right? If you choose to do an activity that nobody else can do, or if you choose to do an activity that nobody else is willing to do, you will have no leverage. Nobody else will do it. Nobody else is working. Nobody else is copying you, right? Nobody else is generating results. Nobody else is generating sales. Nobody else is generating money. You're doing it all yourself. You may as well just go sell cars or real estate, right? Or investments. Just go be a salesperson. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Those professions are, they can generate a good income too. But if you want to be in network marketing, you need to be able to create leverage. You need to have an activity everybody can do, put a stamp on a postcard, easy for the little guy, right? And that's kind of what we've always stood for. That's what we've always done is give the next person the opportunity to be able to copy, the next person the opportunity to be able to generate a lead on day one. And as you grow your business, you can do other stuff too. That's okay. I don't discourage that. Listen, there's a lot of different things you can do to generate leads and sales in your network marketing business. We have people in our team right now that do all kinds of stuff, that are online, that are, going warm market, that are doing postcards, that are doing letters, that are, having meetings locally. Like there's all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying you ever have to do that. I'm just saying as you build your business bigger and bigger, you're going to be more willing to try some of the other things as well. But for the new person, they need to always be able to generate a sale in a really easy way that they're willing to do. That's the key. The fallback position always has to be everyone can put a stamp on a postcard. Like that's the zinger, right? Like if you don't want to do anything else, no problem. You can just put a stamp on a postcard, drop it in the mail. If you don't want to try to call people, talk to people, do meetings, do any online marketing, do anything else, no problem. You can still have success. You can still build a huge team. Just put a stamp on a postcard, right? You can still get the duplication. You can still get the leverage. Everybody can still win if they can do this. Does that make sense? So as we build our business, we need leverage and duplication. And if you look at the big picture, it comes back down to number 1 again, consistent lead generation sales. Consistency in action and results, right? Consistency in action meaning everybody's mailing postcards, everybody's mailing letters, everybody's generating those leads consistently. That's the action that needs to happen consistently. The moment people stop mailing, they stop generating leads, they stop then generating sales, and then they start complaining. This doesn't really work, Joel, does it? It's not really working the way it's supposed to, does it? Is it? Well, no, you stopped mailing postcards 3 months ago. Of course it's not working anymore. Well, I just thought I could mail postcards for 2 or 3 months and then, everybody else would mail them. Nope. You got to keep mailing them too. Because you always got to find new people. You've always got to find new leaders. You've always got to find people like you. You stop mailing, your team will stop mailing. It's as simple as that. You start complaining, your team will start complaining. It's as simple as that. If you take the consistent actions to generate the leads, which then generate the sales, you will then have consistent results. You will then have success. You will then have money come into your bank account on a regular basis. You want consistent results and consistent paychecks? No problem. Consistent. You need to put in consistent action for months and months and months and months. And nobody can ever stop, and nobody can ever slow down, and nobody can ever be negative and complain. Period. Negativity and complaining will destroy your business. I see it time and time again. Doesn't matter how big your business is. People start complaining, they start infecting others. I've actually seen people complain, be negative, and take their uplines with them. The upline was just sitting there minding his own business. People started complaining, started talking negatively about the business. All of a sudden, not only did they quit, but they would take one upline, two uplines, all with them. Guys that have huge potential, guys that have huge amount of leaders in their business, and all of a sudden they're gone, they quit. No real better plan of action, no different real business, but they're convinced because someone's complaining that it just doesn't work. They're convinced themselves, and what happens is they stop doing the action first. And then they complain to other people. And then those guys stop doing the action too. And then everybody's frozen. Everybody's completely frozen in the business. And then the business stops generating results. Right? The business stops generating results. And then their check goes down and they're like, yeah, see, it doesn't work. Like, no, it doesn't work now. Right? Look. Well, it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You start complaining, you stop working, you start getting zero money. You keep working, you keep sending postcards, you encourage your team to do the same, you keep everyone positive, happy, and excited, your business explodes. It's kind of funny how that works. The company doesn't matter, the products don't matter, the comp plan doesn't matter in that scenario. You could have the worst comp plan in the world, but if everybody's excited and building and growing and generating leads and sales, your income's going to explode no matter how crummy your comp plan is. Even if you have one or two products, even if you don't have a good number of products like we do, even if you have one product, you can explode a business. I've seen companies over the years, and for those of you that have been around this industry for a while, you know what companies these are, with one product, which I didn't even think was really that good or really that special. One product, go to $1 billion in sales. Billion with a B. In a very short period of time, a couple of years. Now, how does that happen? How can you copy what those guys did? Well, what they did was get really super excited, infect everybody with positivity, excitement, dreams, future, right? Future-based dreams, excitement. This is what we're going to have soon if we just work. And then they got to work. And they did massive amounts of lead generation and sales. Massive amounts of action. Massive amounts of action, no matter how crummy you are at your job, will generate results. I promise you that. If you pitch 1,000 people your business this month, okay, which for most of us is almost impossible. But if you were to do it, you could be the worst salesperson in the world. You could be the worst leader in the world. You could have no communication skills. You could have no skills whatsoever in anything. But if you pitch 1,000 people, people are going to join. People are going to get excited. If you just have excitement alone and nothing else, if you're just excited, you really don't even know much about the business, you're just so excited, and you bring people to your upline and they can explain the business to somebody, you're going to have a huge business. And everybody will go, what's happening? I don't understand. What is that person doing that's so special? What's the secret? And I try to explain to people, the secret really is just like positivity, excitement, action, like simple things, right? If you want to get a promotion at work, do you go into work miserable every day? Nobody's going to want to promote you. Nobody's going to want to work with you. Nobody wants you to lead them. Nobody wants you to be the manager if you're miserable, if you're always complaining, if you're always bashing your supervisors and your managers and your CEO. You're not going to go anywhere. In a work environment, why would it be any different in a network marketing environment? Why would it be any different in a sales environment? If you're constantly bashing everybody else, nobody wants to work with you, period. If you're positive, upbeat, if you're taking action, if you're solving problems, you get promoted. You advance. People want to work with you. People love you. People want to talk to you. They want to be your friend. They want to sit with you at lunch. They want to give you the extra shifts. You're first on the list for the overtime, right? Or for the best shifts, or for the best times, or whatever. Same thing in life, same thing here. It really just comes down to positivity and a huge amount of action to generate your results. So where do we go from here? You know, I mean, we've talked a little bit about why Postcard Networker was created, the way it was created, some of the things that it has in it, right? Like these are the things that I feel are important. It's not the comp plan. It's not how you get paid. It's not the products. It's lead generation and sales. How to, easy for everyone. It's got to create leverage and duplication. And you've got to consistently just use it to, you know, do a lot of action, which creates results, right? So where do we go from here? Very simple. Look, the next 3 years may look a lot like the last 3 years. I didn't even change the slide, right? I just changed the top part. The next 3 years of working together will look identical to the last 3 years. We may tweak a few things. We may move a few things. We may sell some different stuff. But our lead generation and sales is going to be consistent. We're going to always sell how-to information before the opportunity. Okay? It's always going to be easy for brand new people. Everyone's going to be able to always put a stamp on a postcard. It's not going to change. We're going to create a system where you can have huge amounts of leverage through other people. Other people can duplicate because, again, it's easy. And the more consistent you are, the more positive and happy and the more regular you are with you and your team, will create huge amounts of results. If you can consistently take action in a big way, you can have huge results all the time, period. There is no other opportunity that I know that you can have very little skills and still have huge amounts of results by taking huge amounts of action. You can have like no skills in network marketing and get right to the top of the comp plan and make millions of dollars. There's not a lot of opportunities, not a lot of companies, not a lot of businesses out there where you can do that. You need some kind of skills, right? In network marketing, if you have skills, man, you can just get there even faster, right? So put your head down in 2019. Don't bother, don't bother trying to evaluate whether or not you're in the right place or you're in the right direction or this or that. Like, just put your head down and just take massive action this year. Massive action equals massive results. Okay, you've already got the whole system set up for you. You've got everything you need in Postcard Networker. We've listed it. We've gone through it. This is why people have such success in our system, in our business. You just need to take more action, which will generate you more results. Let's spend more time together in 2019. If you don't come on these calls regularly, please try to attend them or pick up the recording at the end of these calls. We put the recordings online. We put them on our YouTube channel as well. We put them in our back office. So log into your back office. You can get them yourself, or go onto our YouTube channel, find our Postcard Networker YouTube channel. You can listen to all the recordings. But try to make a point of at least listening to every single Saturday morning breakfast call in 2019, whether you do it live or whether you do it as a recording. Okay? And do it on a weekly basis. Try not to skip a week. Try to, even if you don't get on Saturday, listen to it on Sunday or Monday. Try to pick it up as soon as possible. Listen, there's going to be something that I say at some point. I mean, I've been full-time for over a decade. There's going to be something that I say at some point that'll hit you, and you'll go, that's what I needed to hear. And it'll completely transform your thinking, completely transform your action and results, completely transform the way you do business. And hopefully, you'll be sitting doing a call like this in a year or two yourself for a huge team. and thinking, wow, I'm really glad I stuck with it. I'm really glad that, it was worth it. It was worth sticking through the tough times to get to the ultimate goal in earning a full-time income from home. So have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you all next week again, either live or pick up the recording again. And hey, let's make a really successful, huge 2019 together. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys all very soon. Bye for now.